And then welcome to another episode of our spoiler talk for Wanda, episode eight. Eight?
Yes.
Eight. Eight. Yeah, I got it right. Okay. So I'm Bren.
I'm Ant.
And I'm Mike.
And this is an intervention for you, actually, Mike. We're not talking about Wanda today. We're here to talk about your addiction issues.
My addiction issue.
Hey, we had to do this just to get you here, right?
It's all right. It's denial, obviously.
He's addicted to denying stuff. So, zing. So yeah.
Bazinga.
So back on course. No, we're here for episode 8 of Wandavision. Show is wrapping up super soon next week. Dunzo. Last episode. Probably gonna mark in like around, I guess, an hour's time, maybe.
47 minutes.
Listen, that's what the other thing said. That's what the time said. It was, I think it said 46 minutes and change, and it still ended on like 37 minutes. So I'm not believing it. I'll just take what I get.
Yeah.
It's the last episode. What am I going to do now?
You owe us more time.
All right, what are we going to hit on?
It's probably
I
be
don't
a
even know,
credit
like,
scene.
there's so much.
Yeah, a lot going on in this episode. You
Pietro?
can see there's Pietro. I mean, they're starting to tie the ribbon right now. So, all the loose ends, they're just tying it up. We got a chance to see Agatha, a little backstory about her. So, looks like she's being made to be the villain. But at the same time, I kind of got a sense that she's trying to help her too, if that's weird. Even though at
Tough
the end
love.
she had her kids on leashes, which is not that bad, or a parenting kind of rule.
Kind of resembles in the comic where his hands are the two kids because the kids are a spirit of him, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
of Mephisto. So it's kind of like, so that was the whole thing where she had him on like connected by each hand. I don't know, it's tough love.
I think she just has two agendas. I think there's either this agenda, Attica. She got two agendas.
Agatha.
I think the whole agenda is she's trying to see if she can suck up that power, but at the same time, when she figures out she can't, probably gonna like be on her side and become like her buddy, because that's just where it goes in the comics, unless they want to throw out something new.
I
mean,
they're
they are
just,
changing
I think
certain
they're
things
picking
about her.
things
Yeah,
from the comics.
Yeah, like even her origin, they kind of changed it up. It looks
She
like
is one of those witches, though. Back in like the way you were talking about.
she is, but I read up a lot more on her, and it looks like her power even dates back to like ancient Atlantis. So she was present for the Salem witch trials in the comics, but her backstory goes even further.
Her mother was like something about the book. I think ever since you stole that book or something like that, she mentioned.
Was that the book that was present?
I feel like that's the book that she stole from Doctor Strange.
So
They didn't really talk about that, but okay.
I mean, it was cool. You got a chance to see Agatha. She killed her whole coven. That was cool the way they show that, and how she just overpowered them. It's like, trying to give me that,
Because she took on the dark magic. That's why all those they always do that with these witches. The light ones are always weaker than the dark ones. The dark ones start having like powers from Satan.
I mean, not only that, but they're also showing that with the MCU, they're establishing that they're like the string of heroes that they have now and their powers is nothing new. Like in this universe, there have been superpowered beings for years and years and years. So, Hulk busting out into the scenes, the young kid getting spider powers. It's not new for this world. Things like this have happened.
Just like
so
Eternals.
That's cool that they're kind of Eternals. So that's cool that they're going back and they're showing, just her quick origin, and it definitely gives a face to the figure. Now you kind of understand why Agatha is such a threat.
I think she's gonna end up helping her. I think she's gonna end up helping her eventually.
This episode was also a big departure from the norm, as far as we were used to seeing the TV side of WandaVision.
Oh yeah, the credit scene.
Yeah, but this entire episode was just essentially,
because now
nothing.
we're in the MCU now.
Yeah, now we're in the thick of it. World. So it was cool. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
I like that they're breaking down Wanda's power, and they're gonna eventually put it at chaos magic, because that's basically what she is. They're really developing her, and the way that they tell you her story from all the way back from starting with the kid with this lady going from scene to scene to scene, and just seeing why and where she got to this point of
Now,
the universe and changed it, and then like they're gonna just elaborate on her power. I feel like in the next episode, because she's got to just take this lady and just say get out of here, because she's ultimately stronger than her.
Remember
not
the
only with
soap?
When
that,
she realizes her
Remember that
power.
soap? It says something about the inner goddess, or
oh yeah.
let your goddess in, or something like that.
So yeah,
Or
like these
find
little
your goddess.
commercials are like sprinkled throughout. They were giving hints at things that were gonna happen or things that behind the scenes.
Maybe that's what
Um,
that glow was in that the Scarlet Witch,
yeah.
like in the yellow. Maybe that was the goddess that they're referring to.
So a line that Agatha had said kind of retcons what we know about Wanda as far as when the bomb that the bomb that crashed through the roof of Wanda and Pietro's house when they were younger
It wasn't a
that
dud.
didn't go off. Um, for the longest, it was explained that it was a dud. That's what gave them their hate for Stark, and that's why they joined Hydra. But for the longest, it was just a dud. But then Agatha said, "How did you stop it from working? Was it like a hex spell?" And then she mentions later on that Wanda was always a witch, but as she grew older, her powers were going to were going to dwindle because I guess she wasn't training them.
Right.
But if she was always a witch, does that mean that is she a mutant? Um,
She's got
she didn't
she's
get
got
powers from the
the
Mind Stone. They powered her up even more.
well,
So
this is what I was getting at. Her backstory, they go through it. They go through the whole thing. Is her power comes from the chaos magic, which is basically gods. Two gods came, one demon, one god came together, and they were trying to rule the world. But what happened was it got stopped by your man Doctor Strange. So what happened was it got pulled apart, and what happened now? The demon got stuck into a mountain. Wanda was born in this mountain, in this area. Now
oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
the demon caught into her as a baby. She's always had the power. It's the
Uh,
chaos magic, which isn't with her. She
Kathan.
has a mutant ability, which is energy absorption. She has that, which helps the chaos magic because she can absorb it to a further extent because she has that energy absorption. Now, where they're going with the MCU, I don't know if they're going
Who
to go
knows?
that far, but it's turning into, it looks like they're going to introduce it as she's a witch, and that's going to be the chaos magic.
All
But
right, I mean, I guess that. I'm not sure the MCU is ready to roll out the red carpet for the whole mutant explanation. I think a lot of people, even us, were kind of hoping to see that. I don't think the MCU is there just yet.
no,
It was cool to see. It was cool to see more about Wanda as far as you got the whole idea of where WandaVision came from. Her father was selling these DVDs of old sitcoms and shows. So she
Mhm.
yeah.
was raised watching this stuff, which is
Mhm.
cool because now this
That's what
kind of makes
everybody
sense.
thought
This
too.
went from
That's what everybody theorized, that like, oh, maybe she grew up watching this stuff. That was her happy place.
yeah, so it kind of went from her or from Kevin Feige saying, "Hey, I like sitcoms and I love these old TV land shows and Nick at Night." Because that was one of the inspirations for this show was Kevin Feige's love for these shows. But now for them to fully explain why it's in there instead of the big guy just saying make this happen, it's cool that they did that.
It's crazy that she said, "Oh, did you forget about your kids who's being held in the Bewitched dungeon?" The Bewitched dungeon is Agatha's house is the same house they used on Bewitched.
See, that's cool.
It's
All
the
these little
same location, the same exact house. That's
yeah.
Agatha's house.
So I it wasn't that much of an action-packed episode, but we did get a lot of
More
filler to help
informational.
a lot of information. I really
About her.
I
About
love
her.
But I don't get the whole Pietro thing. She can do all of this that she just did in the show, in this episode, make her go through all of her traumas and experiences and all this other stuff that happened, she couldn't get her brother's body from another continent?
All right.
A witch?
No, but
couldn't
you're
just
thinking
bring that body over?
no, but think about it like this.
I don't get
Wanda
that.
just went into this town and did this, and maybe Agatha was caught up in this wave just by chance. It wasn't like, she planned any of this to happen. This
No,
was like
she
a
said
set of
that
event.
she saw and felt like the power coming from it. She had to come in
She wanted to see
and
for
find
herself.
out. Yeah, like what's going on here. Like I need
She
to
wanted to see if she could take it.
this.
No. She didn't feel the power of Wanda. That little dungeon area that she's in, she said she felt the power coming from there. And that's where she went. She didn't go because she felt Wanda's energy. She was explaining like she felt the energy of this place. And I
Of
took
the
it as she
Westfield.
felt
Westview,
Yeah, like-
whatever it
I
is.
thought this place was the hex.
I took it as this place
she
was
put
the
up.
dungeon, the little, her little witch dungeon. That's why she went there.
I think that's just hers.
No, I think that's just her area that she just changed into. She made that area for that
Pietro.
particular
Pietro.
inside the hex.
All
She
right,
made
so
that area.
all right, so even better yet, if she felt the power and she went there, right? Then she didn't know who the hell Wanda was when she went there. She went
No.
there and saw what was going on, so she didn't have time to get Pietro. She did the next best thing. She recasted him. That's what she did.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Um,
I mean,
I
they
really
could.
do love the interaction that Wanda had with Vision, and it's like it shows you what happens after Age of Ultron. You have this young girl with powers who went from being a bad guy to now she's with the good guys, trying to find her place, and she has nothing. She doesn't have her parents. She doesn't have her brother.
No,
So she has no one now.
She was hurt, and
Yeah.
she wanted to see Vision's body somewhat calmly, not
Now-
hostile like he portrayed her to be. Remember, I said
Yeah.
she left empty-handed.
No, I'm
That's
talking.
the,
No, I'm talking
that's what I
about.
want to ask. I wanted to
No,
ask you.
wait. I was talking about the scene when it shows her and
Vision.
Vision kind of like just talking and
bonding.
getting to know each other.
Yeah, that's like their
Bonding.
That's what I was
first,
talking about.
like their connection. Yeah.
So it kind of it shows where that love that they have for one another kind of began right there. So that was a cute little scene to throw in. And then diving further, I believe the next scene is her finding out that he's dead, and she's just trying to go find his body. She's trying to his final
Wants to have a
wishes.
funeral. She's saying funeral.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question.
Hey, where's the dick? Yeah, I know.
No, I know. But I have a question. Did she actually take Vision's body? Or is
No.
No.
that's Vision's the actual body is at the end of this one.
What
That
do you
white
mean?
body
I want
is the
to
actual
talk
body.
about that.
Right?
Like-
That's the actual metallic body. She just took so what this guy is in this thing is just like an essence of him. It's not really
even.
him.
Right.
Right, so-
you saw like she spontaneously created him.
So think about it, all right? Wanda spontaneously created him, right? Haywood he wasn't tracking Wanda in the hex. He was tracking the vibranium, which is Vision, which means that Wanda is so powerful that she made vibranium. She made it out of her mind.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
that is crazy to think that she
Oh
did that.
man. Not for nothing. I never really looked at this character, but after watching this series, this is a very, very interesting character in the Marvel series, believe it or not. And if you
Yeah,
look at the
I never
story,
realized like how deep or
Yo.
how much
She
there
could
is to this
literally-
character. No.
if she wants to, she could make babies pop up everywhere, bro.
Exactly.
And make exact souls for these babies, like these kids. I mean, I'm saying she can make existence of anything, because she's got literally the power of gods, literally in her, and it's not even the full power. But the reason why I'm a little disappointed in so far, maybe they might change it up, that Quicksilver in the comics is actually that character, that exact demon that gives Wanda her power.
Yeah, he takes
Chaos
over
Magic.
Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's still a lot that they can do. I'm really hoping that in some form or fashion, they do get the original Quicksilver back. I'm still holding out for that. Maybe she can will him back into life, like she willed Vision, her children. That's like something that I'm really hoping for, because I think this is going to end with Wanda having that big breakdown, you know, realizing that those are not your kids, those are not, you will them to existence. I think we're still in for that big breakdown. Um, you might get my Mephisto to show up in the form of him doing a
Somebody else.
bargain with her.
Yeah,
It's gonna
somebody else.
it's gonna be like, yeah, you want your kids to exist? I'll trade you your chaos power. That chaos magic. Let's do this.
She's not going to do that. I
Who
don't think she's
knows?
going to do that.
It's
Nah,
there's
because
there's still a big reveal to happen. It didn't happen in this episode. It's gonna happen in the next one.
I mean, they do that. They're changing up the whole game with her, because then she's got no power.
So now, in the beginning, those cops, right, from Eastview, what did they say about the town?
There
They
is no
didn't-
West. There is no Westview.
There is no Westview.
There is no Westview,
They don't.
It-
They're
it
totally
doesn't exist,
They're totally
correct?
blank.
right?
Well, wait,
it doesn't
No,
exist.
but there
They
There
were
is
is
outside
no
of the
Westview,
hex.
Huh?
They were outside of the hex. So how could she have messed with their memory?
because there is a Westview.
What do you
Because
mean?
she goes and visits this place.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
As you see in the episode, she goes and visits this place.
Yeah, but no, but
and
he's
they
saying
give her
Before
where
she
did
took
that-
over.
Yo, did you guys look at the deed? Did you guys look at the deed?
Mhm.
It says Wanda, her last name, and the Vision on that deed.
Yeah, he bought a
literally
house
that house.
in Westview. But if Westview didn't exist,
But that it's
How?
a real deed. I'm saying the deed, and there's real people there. It's like she went there. It's a real town.
exactly. So what's up
But-
with those cops?
okay,
Why did they?
Yeah, that's weird because
Why did they lie?
why?
They're
Yeah,
not lying. I think somebody wiped their brain or something like that.
maybe Agatha.
Somebody
Who knows?
wiped something, because they're a little on. They don't know anything about this place. But
Because it
yet
was
the
just a
military
rundown
can figure
town.
this all out and everything. Like they know where this place is.
But
It
once
was a
again, with
rundown
WandaVision,
town.
once again with WandaVision, we have more questions than answers.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was cool. You got a chance to see Agatha in her costume.
Still, we don't know the
Um,
aerospace engineer because
We don't. Yeah. Oh, we even got a
technically,
glimpse. We
it
got a
was just
glimpse of the
army person.
traditional Scarlet Witch costume when she went into the Mind Stone and had that connection with it.
yeah,
You got a chance to see, just the silhouette, and of course you have Agatha at the very end explaining, like, "Oh wow," because the entire episode she's like, "How'd you do it? How'd you do it?" And now she's like, "Oh, it's chaos magic. I didn't think this even existed." And then she's like, "You are the Scarlet Witch."
You
So
are
that name-
it's like a myth. It's like a
So
myth
now
almost.
that name comes with a lot of weight behind it. So now the next episode, we're gonna get to see it. Another stinger. I can't believe you guys don't know what the hell the end credit scene is called. It's a stinger. I'm disappointed in you
You're a
two, all right?
stinger, by the way. You're a stinger. Okay. Anyway, the end credits.
honestly,
scene,
I've never heard of Stinger before.
It's-
I've heard just the end credit scene,
It's a stinger. That's what it's
or a
called.
mid credit.
I mean, it makes some sense. It does make a little sense. It's like a
Alright,
tale almost.
whatever.
But so yeah, we had another one this episode, and the reveal
Who's
of
the
White
missing
Vision.
person?
I-
Still no missing person. So, all right, yeah, go ahead.
But we had White Vision, who's he sounds like a rapper.
Well, it's clear vision, pretty much.
Cat-
You're not red
oh,
anymore.
cataract. But
Yeah.
so they kind of realize, Haywood's saying we took this guy up and built him 1,000 times. We used every power source that we could, and all we needed was the actual source. So it looks like he's there. So it looks like they found a way to siphon off some of that hex power into an energy source, and they're using the power of vision. In the comics, this character did exist. He was totally wiped, so it wasn't the Vision that was with the Avengers. It was a sentient robot, basically, which is a clean slate. I have a suspicion that one of the big battles that we do see, it's going to be between both Visions. You're going to have the one that she made, who now has this knowledge that, that's my wife, I love her, I was an Avenger, whatever the hell that was. And then you have this robot, this other Vision, and we're going to see a big battle between them.
But what
and
is
I
what
would
is the
love-
Vision's power? Like the actual power set of that
Like,
robot?
I would
mean,
love
it's
for at the end for both of them to merge and kind of become one.
Isn't it
Oh,
just
yeah.
Vision, but without
Vision himself.
I think
Yeah, just like
it's
a
Vision
reboot. He'll
without
merge.
emotion, without
Yeah.
life. It's he does everything, but just without life in him.
So
To
that's why I
feel.
want to. I would love to see both of them merge and come back together, because then that means that we get more Vision in future installments. Paul Bettany is a brilliant actor. He's really killed it this series, and I don't
People
want to
think
see him
that
go.
people think that the cameo is himself
That would be. He's always wanted to work with himself.
because he said that there's another character that hasn't been revealed yet, and
What if it's actual
him and the
Vision?
character really have it's going to be like spectacular or something like that.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh yeah,
I
this last
I just
episode
want
is
him to have more work.
this last episode is definitely going to be the mind fuck of this whole series, and it's going to be the one that's going to tie everything together. It's going to be the one that's going to get to give you the battle scene like we usually get in Marvel.
Okay,
You know,
I wouldn't say he's going to tie everything together for the simple fact we have more movies. You
well,
have
this
Doctor
tie what they
Strange.
tie
It's
what
still
they want
yeah,
to put in
Yeah.
with this is what I
it
mean.
still ties into Spider-Man, so we'll find that out in December, and then Doctor Strange in
2022.
22.
But yeah,
So the guy who dismantled Vision in the comic is Cameron Brock, and he works for a task force. So
They all do.
maybe Hayward is Cameron Brock. I feel like he's lying about who he is. I don't know why. I don't know why he
the
can't just
way,
be Hayward and just be a dick. I don't know.
yeah, but the way he was talking to Wanda was very like it was sus. Just the way he was talking, like, no, let her see the body. Go, like,
Because I think he was trying to like lean her into putting him back together.
yeah. Maybe there was a test to see if having her there would make him go back online. But just his whole character, he's just a total dick. Like, you can tell she has love for this. First of all, he doesn't see Vision as a person.
No, he
That's a
corrected himself
weapon.
like 2 or 3
Weapon,
times.
Yeah.
weapon.
That's a weapon. But for Wanda to, she sees Vision as that was basically her husband. That was the love of her life, and he's showing her a dismantled, person to her. That's what that was, and he has like
Yeah.
no feelings about it. He's like, yeah, go look, go look.
And in the arm, when it was all broken up, like the fibers, there was
Yeah.
hexagon pattern.
Oh, word. God damn it.
They're everywhere,
it's
man. I was watching New Rock Stars, and the girl on there, I think her name is Jessica. She mentioned how like her coaster is a hexagon, and she's like, "Oh no!" Like she's like now
They're invading.
she's starting to see hexagons everywhere, and I'm like, "Yeah, me too."
Shout out to those guys. We watch their videos a lot. They do excellent breakdowns.
Oh my god. I don't know how this guy even sleeps. He's putting out
I know,
videos
right?
like every day, every other day.
He
Rock
just has a
Bunny.
coffee IV right into his vein.
Yeah,
Well,
some of these guys like they
He
have
gets sponsors
microscopes.
from Bang Energy Drink, so
Yeah, some of these guys have like microscopes to these shows too. It's like you must
Mhm.
watch this stuff over and over and over.
Like, my brain isn't there yet. I watched this episode 2 times so far, and I picked out some things that I noticed, but I can't think, like, in the back of my head. I'm thinking there's some dude out there right now who's picking up things I'm not even thinking of,
yeah.
and he's like, I noticed that, and I'm just like, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, but this definitely is a good character. Like, and this is a character that they underplay so far in MCU. She's only been using her energy absorption. It's not really like anything until now. But she's still underplaying herself. And I'm waiting to see if they're gonna what they're really gonna do with her, because she's a beast, man.
And
She's an
people think-
omega. She's an omega.
People think Wonder
Omega
Man is
power
going to
level.
show up
That
somehow.
would be cool.
Because I think that was the essence, right? That they put into him, I think.
Something Fillion. Oh, what's his name?
Nathan Fillion?
Nathan Fillion. He plays Wonder Man. It was
That actually plays
yeah.
a part. That character plays a part in that whole series too, Wonder Man.
So in Captain Marvel, there was a poster, or there was going to be a poster in the background with Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man, because in the comics he is also an actor. So I think they took it out. but I think the casting choice still remains that he is Wonder Man.
Y-
I could be
Well,
wrong. This is something that I read, I believe,
but
but that's
listen, I
cool.
mean,
I think he's an awesome actor.
with the deleted scene at the end of Endgame, and now they
That's
used it for
true.
the series. So
But
You
it's
know,
crazy
like
how. Oh, wait. Going back to that, it's crazy how he portrayed that um as Wanda like broke into their facility because
exactly,
yeah, she did bang the doors open.
yeah.
Yeah, she did break those windows and jump out. And afterwards, she was deflated. She was like, "All right, I'm out," and she left.
but
Doesn't
Exactly.
make any
he
Like I
had no.
said,
sense.
she
But
left empty-handed. She didn't take
Yeah,
anything.
but the thing is also, if you notice when she broke the window, he didn't care. He's like, yeah, it's okay, no problem. It's okay. She could do that. She could break your window.
yeah.
He didn't really care. He gave her permission for everything. There was
Yeah.
no real breaking. Okay, she
He's a
just
real
used the
scumbag.
power. He's just a douche. But anyway,
You got to
like,
figure out
you
who
know
the
that
fuck this
like
guy is.
they're actually not using Hank Pym. It's supposed to actually be the in some of this with the whole like Vision story as far
I
as
mean,
Vision being reported in. Because you talk about that Croc dude.
well, all right. So
Vision,
you got to
like,
realize that
Hank
they did
Pym's there
change a lot
too.
for and they did change a lot for the movies because in the original comics, it was Hank Pym who created Ultron. In this universe, it was Tony Stark.
Iron Man.
So you
Yeah.
know they made some changes, a lot of cosmetic changes.
And
Um,
that's the thing too. Like that's what makes it more, in a way, more interesting because you already know that storyline and that's what you're
yeah,
expecting. And then they're like, no, 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 we're gonna change it up and do that.
yeah, we're
And
getting something
now
that's
it leads
inspired.
into a whole other
Yeah,
thing now.
this is
Well, that's
inspired by the comic books. It's not a total copy of the comics, and you know I do prefer that. You know, make those changes. You know, because everything's fitting together like a puzzle piece. It's locking in. It feels secure. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with Wanda. It looks like she's going to be a big part of Phase 4. This is how they're really kicking off Phase 4 right here, and I want to see how her story progresses. You know, this could just be the tip of the iceberg for how important a character Wanda is, or Scarlet Witch, later on in the overall story of Phase 4.
we'll see. But that's why it's called.
He's
That's no, I'm saying, but
We'll see.
that's why
After
it's. But no,
all
but like,
that,
Don't
like,
believe you.
yeah,
no,
okay.
no, no. But I'm saying, but that's why it's a multiverse. So, you know, that's why there's so many different versions, and Marvel's got tons of different versions of all their stories. They have a million of them. They got Earth's. What is it? You got a whole bunch of them. I mean, I think what is it, 616 or something? They do a lot with too.
616. Yeah, 616.
They use a lot with and they use the original a little bit. They use a little. I feel like they use those two a lot because those stories are closest in time,
So
but then there's a little differences. You know.
all I know is that the next episode is going to be crazy. I'm pretty sure we're going to have that Vision battle. If Mephisto does show up, who do you think is going to play him? Mike, who do you think is going to play him? Actor-wise, if you could choose any actor.
Nicolas Cage. Now,
I know.
now, I don't know. I haven't really looked into any of those.
I got
Maybe,
an idea. It's based on the most stupidest.
Keanu Reeves.
No, beyond it. I think Al Pacino. Hoo-ah. And this is why I'm going to go with Al Pacino.
I don't think he'll be in a
Devil's
Marvel
advocate.
movie.
No, I
Devil's
think for the
advocate.
simple fact that he's played the devil before in a movie
Devil's advocate.
with Keanu Reeves, but just because he's played the devil once, I think he's going to come back and he's going to be the devil again.
I think he did want to. He did say he wants to work with Marvel.
I think he's too old. I don't think he's gonna do it.
He's
No, listen, no,
nutcase too.
for that role, you don't need to be moving around. When he goes into like a demon state, it's gonna be CGI. But just to have like a human form, who better than Al Pacino? He's intimidating.
Yeah.
Just this
I
way he's
don't think
off.
they're gonna. He's a little expensive though. I think might be a little expensive for them right now.
I don't know.
Disney.
I think if
Disney has an endless big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
They have a
probably
vote like
40
Scrooge
million.
McDuck.
You got for like periods, you're gonna do like 40 million. You know what I mean? Like
I
they
think
could
if
pay like
anything,
they could pay like half the cast with that.
I think if anything, Hayward or Evan Peters.
See, now that is actually a good idea. If
But
Mephisto was actually Hayward,
they could be anybody.
but you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that
Maybe
be
Evan
an
Peters.
idea?
Maybe Evan Peters
Hayward
is Cthon
Mephisto.
taking over Quicksilver's body. It's a
I mean,
He
fake
could be also
Quicksilver. It's a fake, but it's taking over his body. So maybe it is
somebody's
Katana.
taking over his body. It can't only be her. It
And the
can't just be
rabbit.
if
What's with
they
the bunny? What's with the?
Senior
that's one of her
Scratch.
kids. That's one of her kids.
And maybe Scratch is Pietro. I feel like he's somebody.
It's the mailman. He's looks so suspect every time we saw him.
But you know what?
Right?
The
He's always
mailman's
looking
just a
like
mailman. He was just a delivery guy. So he
Is
just
he
ended up
though?
being a delivery guy. Well, when she
He's
walked into town, he was like doing normal things.
yeah, delivering evil to everyone he met.
but you know what? They could do that. Like they could make him multiple characters because he's the demon himself. He could be anybody. He could be a multiple different multitudes in those people that you could just feel like there's that guy like down the block just looking out like what's going on. That could be him.
Maybe
You don't really
one
know.
person, maybe one per and what's her name? Donna? The blonde lady? She wasn't there.
Yeah. Who knows? She'll probably come back.
That'd be funny if Doctor Strange is somehow disguised himself as one of
As the
them
mailman.
and just like sitting on the sidelines waiting till shit like blows up.
He could be.
That'd be cool.
He could have been sitting on the sidelines the entire time, just
He
waiting to
he
see.
can change himself. I mean he's
Because you got to realize what Wanda has done is like almost unprecedented. She's rearranged this entire town. She's giving people roles. She's
I mean
manifested things into existence.
this
So,
is new. This is not something that's like just this is
because
relatively new into
And he
the
didn't
actual
feel
after
that.
this,
storyline.
like, how'd you do?
He can't
How'd you
feel
do?
this. He can't know like
He
there's
knows.
something up.
You know,
He knows, but he's just not
You know?
he's not present yet.
Plus,
Because
remember,
they
all of this is happening within a week, I think.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
this is
it's like
all happening like within, it's like right after Endgame, right? And then, but like within a week.
Yeah. But listen, before we go, let me just say it's going to be Al Pacino. I feel it in my bones.
Andy Garcia.
Oh, Andy Garcia, that's a good one.
I don't
It
know.
has to be
I'm out.
it has to be some kind of crazy actor that he wants to work with Paul Bettany. He's like, yo, if it is Al Pacino, do you know how pissed off Scorsese's gonna be? Mr. Comic book movies don't count.
Exactly.
They won a lot of awards from what I understand. I mean, I
Like,
haven't
this
really looked at.
motherfucker.
We're running out of time.
That's it. You heard our theories. You heard us chit chat. Tune in next week for our season finale of WandaVision. We're probably just going to be speechless for a good 10 minutes, trying to connect the dots, connect the hexes. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow Mike on Grinder, all that good stuff.
I am not on Grindr. But okay.
He's a married man. He's happy. And that's all, folks. Da 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 da.